Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Operation Monster Force Apophis Legion Counter-Terrorism Unit Trooper. And I thought it was time to finally get to the Cobra zombified figure. And I'm just going to say this. I think we all know that the owners of Fresh Monkey Fiction, Big Bad Workshop now, they know what they're doing. They know that this can be used with your G.I. Joes. They see it as a very popular brand, and they said, hey, let's create our own lore, but let's also create something that can fit into the G.I. Joe lore if those people just want to grab something. So we're going to take a look at it. There's some photography of the actual figure there. We open it up, and we got the comic panel cover, and then we got the figure right there. And he is fully zombified. You cannot turn this guy into a Cobra Trooper. When you look at him, he has chunks taken out of him because he's been bitten, he's been attacked. All right, on the back we get the cross sell season 0. Here's a little blurb talking about what these guys are. But anyway, I'm excited to get this guy open. You've probably seen all the other Operation Monster Force stuff that I've been dropping. It's been a lot. It has been a long weekend, and I have to leave for Ohio. You know how much I hate Ohio. So I've been trying to get stuff done in the midst of trying to do other things. But anyway, let's get to this. But before we do, if you like this type of stuff I'm giving you, you like Operation Monster Force, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop an Operation Monster Force review. All right, so we got our Apophis Legion out, and again, a lot of reuse here, especially if you just watched my the loadout video that I did. So anyway, I always like to start off with the stuff we've already seen, which is a lot. It's pretty much everything here. So quickly, we'll get to the blast effects. Here you are. This is the big one, big plume here. It's translucent, orange, translating into yellow. Again, it is nice. Matter of fact, I got another guy, actually this Saw Viper with it. It actually looks really good, to be honest. Here's the smaller one, different type of plume, orange, yellow, translucent, and then we have the what I think is for the pistols, right? Looks pretty good. Again, all translucent and everything. I think it's with all of these, they're giving you 3 each, along with these smoke effects. You need to do some different ones because now it's just too many, and I understand the tooling's done, but wow, that's a lot. All right, so we got all these hands. So if you want some gloved hands, you get these gloved hands, which we've seen 100 times. They have the knuckle dusters, look very similar to everything we've already seen. No fingernails because they are gloved. You got your right and your left. Here you have your 2 fists. Again, the detail is all the same. Knuckle dusters all look good. We get our C cup hands, and there you go is your C. Again, oops, dropped one. I don't think I'll miss it. They look good like everything, and then what comes on him are the trigger fingers. And if you hear that upstairs, that is Roman deciding to play with this toy. All right, these hands are the zombie hands. All right, and these ones are all new molded. You can see this finger is ripped off. You can see the knuckle is ripped off there. All right. You can see that it's decaying. And that is pretty awesome. And this, again, if you're into your G.I. Joe and you're seeing that they're going full force with zombies, man, this might be something that you want. We have this hand here. Finger is missing. It's ripped on the knuckle here, but then it's ripped also right up there. You can still see the bone structure and his decay. And then he has a trigger finger. So I don't know how these guys actually move. Are they still able to think? But the trigger finger is ripped apart. You got the knuckle right there. This is actually pretty cool. And I know there was those Marvel zombies. So maybe you want to work them in with that. All right. Or you just want Cobra zombies, right? So there you go. This one here, you can see the way that it's ripped up. And the paint looks really good to make it look like blood that's flowing through it. So all decaying. Gonna push those right over there. All right, we have a blue, I don't know why, blue beret, It has a different insignia on it. I'm not really sure what that is, but you can see the paint around it. I think that, I don't know if that splash is supposed to be there. It looks like there's like a splash, or maybe that's a V. I don't know. Maybe that's supposed to be like that. But you can see how that looks. You can see the wear in it, so it has some color to it. It looks dirty, which is perfectly fine. It's supposed to. We got the stand, which is definitely a different color. All right, I'm wondering if that's how it's supposed to be. But it looks a little bit more worn. It does have a sheen to it. Operation Monster Force, 2 pegs. It's all broken up. You know my feelings on stands. I don't care for them because I can stand my figures without any issues. On the back or on the bottom, Apophis Legion, the counter-terrorism unit. I don't know what they're counter-terrorizing because they're not living. All right, so we got the helmet. And maybe this helmet may work better for a police officer. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm going to just start with, I'm not going to get into it, but you can watch my other video. You're going to want to heat this up, and I'll explain what you want to do. All right, so up here is for the nods. This is blue. You got the black paint right over here. You got a nice, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a camera or something that's up there. All right, you got the black over here. You got what looks like netting going around. Get the netting kind of like holding that on. You do have the straps. Now this one is out, so a little bit easier. The ones that came with the other accessory pack, these are kind of dumped in, and it was a pain to deal with. All right, we get these nods. All right, and you can see it's supposed to go around the eyes right there. It's all black. It does have some detail, and it does articulate up and down. All right. And if we take this here, we'll see if this one plugs in a little. So this one actually plugs in better than the one that came with the Phantom Core. Phantom Core. All right. The one with the Phantom Core, this thing just did not want to stay in. Kind of like that. But that one just literally fell out. We're going to get 2 earpieces. All right. Here's your 2 earpieces. Nicely designed. You can see where the padding is supposed to be. You can see where it's going to plug in. Now, these seem a little bit harder, and that's a good thing. And if you watch the other video, you'll know what my complaint was, and that was that everything was super soft. So there was no way that this was going to stay on because it's a soft plastic on soft plastic. This is a little bit harder. They're still like rubber. All right. So I'm actually able, oh, maybe not. So now I'm having the same problem that I had with the other ones. Now this is what should have been a hard plastic, where everything else could have been this rubber mold. So those do look good. I don't have a problem. I actually got those in fairly well, and these may actually go really well with the G.I. Joe Legacy police officers. And then we have this piece here. So this is the front visor. All right. It's got the red. It's got what I believe is a flashlight. I don't believe that's a camera, but I could be wrong. Still has the earpieces right there. And these plug in the exact same. So if you want, you can plug those in, and then you have a face mask. Now, I fully understand what they're doing, and what I mean by that, it's I think they've already shown off regular looking Cobra troopers. I know they're not Cobra troopers. They are Apophis legions. But you can use them with your Cobras and have a different. So I think this does look nice. And I'll have to be putting, at least trying this on some of the police officers. There's no doubt about that. All right. Here we're going to get a plug for the magazine, but he doesn't have a gun for this. This stuff makes me laugh because he doesn't have a gun for this. All right, but we can use the walkie-talkie. But they give you this magazine. I guess they're like, just figure out where you're gonna put it. So the magazine that goes to one of the rifles. Here, we can use it on this one right here. I think. No, this is the gridiron one. This is before, I think this is before it was a gridiron. So I wonder if they actually fit. You can see, actually they painted the bullet. That's too loose. Yeah, so this goes to their scars, which I don't have any of them down here. Okay. This is a gridiron mold, so the magazines are different. I really hate that some of these magazines are different, and I understand in real life magazines might be different, but I'm living in a world of toys. All right. So we do have this. This will plug in. Unfortunately, he doesn't have anywhere to plug it into. They don't give you the thigh holster, and I'll explain that in a second. But the detail on it's pretty nice. Then we get the radio. All right, you can see the buttons right there. You can see the antenna. If I remember correctly, on the first wave, season 1, they had this like a little sheen on it, so it actually looked like it was a like it was lit up. Yeah, we can plug that in there if you need. And I have a few of those lying around. You can watch some of the other videos and you'll see it. It goes to another figure. All right, let me get this out of the way. He does come with a knife. All right, which is pokey. Do not give it to a kid. It looks good. You have your nice silver, and then you have your black handle right there, a little guard, and then we have the sheath, and a little bit of paint apps on it, make it go really far. This will plug in here. Now again, you can use this plate carrier for other things, and I'll show you that shortly. We get the pistol that we've seen. I think I've seen this in every single figure so far. I think this pistol came with every single figure so far that I've opened this round. All right, so a nice grip. You can see the rivets right there. You got the trigger guard. You got the slide that is painted red. Then you have your port for blast effects. And it fits perfectly, and other than the drooping a little bit, but we can fix that with some hot water. And then we have this right here. So this is to cover the plate carrier. And I think this one's supposed to be blank. If you have this, let me know. I think this is supposed to be blank because they know people are going to use this for G.I. Joe. But it has the same one right there. So I think maybe they screwed up and gave me the same one. All right. This is a new weapon that we have not seen, designed by Gridiron. And looking at it here, it is some sort of AK platform. You have a magazine that does pull out. I almost thought it didn't for a second. All right, you can actually see that it is painted, so it's painted brown. I don't know why you'd paint it brown instead of just molding it brown, but whatever. Plugs in there. You got the brown handle. A nice stock that is supposed to collapse and fold in right there. Not collapse, but a fold in stock. You got a 203 grenade launcher. I don't know if it's 203, but I'm going to call it. But the grip, trigger guard, and then you have your port for blast effects from your barrel. You can see your sight right there. Again, looks really nice. You got some wear and tear, just some use on it, so it does look good. And as for the blast effects, well, we can plug it into. Okay, you can't plug it in there, and I can't plug it in there. You know, I have another set of blast effects that came with this. That are too thin. This has been a problem with some of their stuff. This, to me, I would call a QC issue. These are your weapons. I don't care that Gridiron designed them. These are your weapons. Your blast effects that you gave them should fit in there. And unfortunately, they all don't. All right. We have 2 extra heads right here. So we get a neck if you want to have him, you know, without the cover here. And that's going to pop on. To get these on here, just heated up in hot water. All right, I'm not going to take them off. You guys can see how they look. You can go watch the other. I'm not going to sit here and go through it. They have to be heated up. Hot water, a minute and a half. Squeeze it, twist it, the thing will pop right off. Looking at this head here, and this guy is decaying. Yet his hair is in awesome condition. Explain that one to me. Like, he's got a big gash, yet his hair just flows perfectly. I can't say I'm a huge fan of the sheen on it, right? Again, these are toys, so I guess you do what you want. But the hair does look good. We can see the his cranium right there. His ear, you can see that he's kind of rotted away right here. His whole mouth is starting to be eaten away. You can see his gums. Still has some really nice teeth. That's more than I can say for some YouTubers that don't have teeth. And then you can just see a little bit of wear all throughout his through his facial structure. And then we have this guy, and I like this guy. Again, perfect hair. I don't have to worry about it that I'm bald. But he's more like an orange. But he's got a big chunk right there out of his skull. Here you can see some brains, all the blood rotted right through his cheek there. Again, perfect teeth. They must have had great dental before this uprising. And his eye is still a nice blue, all right? This could make that man in Germany, probably would have made him super happy. His nose is I've done too many of these this weekend. I'm probably not watching this till Wednesday or Thursday, but I've done too many. Alright. It's Sunday. So yeah, it's Sunday. I'm doing my Monday night show tonight because I'm leaving for training tomorrow. Alright. So, but look at the figure. I'm trying not to laugh. Alright. So you have this Cobra looking figure. He literally looks like Cobra. I should have grabbed the Cobra helmet. It would have fit, I think, perfectly on him. Alright. So when you look here, that looks really nice as it goes straight back. This is a different type of head than what we got with these guys over here. So I'll be looking. It's a different type of balaclava. You can see the detail. You can see what's supposed to be like the stitching going back. And then you can see that it's all ripped up. This looks so much like the Cobra Trooper. We get to the face. Alright, and you can see he's been torn up. His eye is ripped out, I think, right there. He's got that one eye there. Still has good teeth, alright? So, we get to the plate carrier. And this is something that we've seen numerous times. This can come off, and you should be able to put the blank one on, but they didn't give me a blank one. Here, we have the microphone, or the... Why do I call the microphone? The CB, the radio. And this only came with Van Helsing, I believe, with the other ones. He's got two flashbangs, two pouches right here. We have the two buckles that go right in there. Again, all this detail looks really nice. We can take it off, pop that off if we want to. I doubt there's any damage underneath it, but in all honesty, he wouldn't have damage underneath it, right? He wouldn't have been attacked underneath the plate carrier. We get to his shoulders, and you have... I like the gloss on the blood because it looks like it's liquefied. So the shoulder has been bitten into. It's been bitten to on the forearms. Same with here, but it is different. This here, they took a big chunk out of his bicep, and it looks like you're supposed to be able to see muscle and everything. Obviously nothing on the hands, but we can swap those out and put different hands on them. All right. His belt here, it looks like he has some sort of shotgun shells is what I think that it is. I love the belt buckles. Look really good. You got these 3 carabiners and all these pouches just wrapping around. Get to his thigh, and they've taken big chunks out of him. All right. And as it kind of wraps around, we have the holster. This is the new style holster. If you remember on the Series 1, you can go back and watch one of my reviews, and this was a complaint that everyone had, is that, oh, you know, I got one right here. This actually came with the eraser. But he doesn't need it because they didn't give it to him. So the problem was These plug in here, but they keep popping off because they're not deep enough. You can see that gap right there. So they just made a modification to it. They made a modification and they made a complete one that this connects in. It's way better. This doesn't get knocked off every time you hit it. We got the same knee pads. Obviously, there shouldn't be any damage to those. And then look at that leg. You can see the bone through it. You can see the blood. I'm not sure how much blood there would be after a while. So this guy does not have a boot cut on this side, that's for sure. You can see the torn leg. All right, and then we get down to the boots, and they still look pretty good, other than right there. As for his articulation, this guy can look up nicely, and he can look down. He can go side to side, so you're going to get some good zombie poses out of it. He has a T-pose, shoulder swivel, bicep swivel, double pinless elbows, and then he has the, the wrist swivel. Same with over here. All right. Very tight though. These are not as, again, I'll keep saying it, these are not as smooth as season 1. Moves back and forth. He has the diaphragm cut like the rest of the figures. I'd say just trust me, but you can watch all the other reviews and see it. All right. He has the Jean-Claude Van Damme drop down hips. They pop back right into place. And then you can twist the thighs. There you go right there. Boot swivel, ankle rocker. Again, same thing here. Everything except for the ankle rock or the boot cut, which normally I will say I hate that they don't do that, but this is completely different. Okay, you wanted to have this big gouge and they wanted to have it go up. They needed to make one. So this makes sense because it's a specialized figure. But now you can kind of just have him walk in and he's just kind of dragging his leg, right? I think we'll do some of those. All right, as for the pistol, I don't know how many weapons he's going to have because I'm assuming by this point he's been knocked down and they've taken him. Maybe he still has his beret. That's actually kind of funny. But again, what the lore is, who knows, right? I don't think anyone fully knows the lore. I know I haven't read it. Maybe they're still able to think, all right? So if they're still able to think, yeah, they may still be walking around as they're starting to decay, but they can still now turn on, you know, the subordinates, right? So here he goes. He's just kind of, I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time. Either zombies are crazy chasing you, or I think of zombies as slow movers. And they're dragging. And maybe they're still carrying stuff, but they're not really thinking about it. And look, there he is, just kind of carrying it. All right. As for the different heads, please don't bring the neck off. I don't want the neck to come off. And the gun just fell. But the neck is still coming off, and I don't want it to, because that means I got to heat this guy up. And look, there goes his neck. God! All right, give me a second. I'm going to heat this guy up. All right, so I'm back. Hot water. Pop this off here. I guess there's no reason to do that right now, because since I've already got it off, I might as well just throw on. Shit, that's hot. Sorry, I try not to swear in here. That was hot. Again, hot tap water. All right. So there, if you want to see him, how he looks that way. Does the beret fit on him? It does, which I think is, I think this is funny. Like, I don't know. And you see how beat up he is. All right. So quickly, I gotta say, God, there we go. We got that off. Now we're gonna pop this head back on here. I don't know why I put all the heads in there. And it took me, I said, hey, you know what? I might as well run upstairs. Like the Cobra, like the colors are very close. And remember, there's different ones. Here's the helmet. And it does fit him. All right, it clearly fits him. You can take the beret. And the color is, it's close enough. Now, we can't see everything, but again, I've done so many of these. If you look, see the top piece there? And then you see the side pieces on the head. Yeah. Boot. Where it comes up at. These are meant to be Cobra Troopers. They really are. They should just put a little Cobra logo on one of them. But yeah, if you want other Cobra Troopers that look a little different, there you go. Take the plate carriers off maybe. You can swap them out. The color matches. Again, there's so many of these figures. I don't have a problem with it. And as I said early on, they know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. They give the AK style. Again, just popping that on, and it fits pretty. It's pretty dead on, to be honest. So anyway, there you go. Let's finish this. All right, so there you go. That is the Apophis Legion figure. Like, I still have the Cobra hat. I still have the Cobra helmet on him. I completely forgot. These are zombified. The head is very close to what the original Cobra Troopers are. So again, you can't really say that's not what they're supposed to be. They do look good. A lot of fun. I don't know why this thing seems so far away from me. Now I got to duck. But yeah, so fun. I don't need a lot of zombies. I think I ordered an extra one by mistake. I'd rather have army builders and a zombie here and there. These will work really well with the Mallrats. Mallrats is one of the best one of the best movies ever with Jason Lee. Anyway, there you go. Match them with your Mallrats. Do whatever you want. Put them with your Operation Monster Force. That's what I think most people would do. But anyway, they are Cobra Troopers that have been attacked. So I'm going to get out of here. You spent a lot of time with me this week, and I appreciate it. And there's oh so much more to get to. But we're at the point I ask, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop an Operation Monster Force review. Now, don't go anywhere. If you're wondering, hey, have you done more of these? Well, yeah, there's so many. And right up here will be another one, and down here will be a playlist of all the Operation Monster Force figures that I reviewed. Take care.